I'm Kevin Casey. I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And right now, what I'm about to do is issue a warning out to all other competitors.
I don't want overs. I just expect them to happen.
Fatty's gonna fatty is real.
Oh, give me fucking truth, baby! Come on! Let's go!
How have I been successful in life?
Not by showing up again, even though it's pay-per-view. We're back for another week of the MMA analysis. I am your host, Brad. I am joined by two. We're working our way back up. I think this might be as high as it gets for a while, at least.
This man's retired, but he's retired. It's over.
He's moving to the Eastern time zone. This dude is not staying up to watching fucking main events.
I didn't stay up to watch the main event this weekend, so
yeah, but that was a very good choice in hindsight. You weren't supposed to have to stay up late.
I'm a smart man. I'm ahead of the curve. What can I say? Shaun, how are you doing?
Good. Only barely losing money, so I guess that's a step up from losing shit tons of money from what I've been doing most of the year. So that's a win, I guess.
There we go. And Wesley, back from the abyss, or still in the abyss, I suppose.
Yeah, more closer to that. Yeah, good to be back. I was sad to miss last week, just, catching up with life and stuff. I take a few days away, and
that's allowed.
Before I left, I had a leaking pipe, and my dryer went out like 2 days before I leave. Then on the plane, when I'm in the airport getting ready to get on a plane, texting the wife, and of course she's like, "Oh, I know you don't want to hear this," and I didn't. She could have saved it for when I landed and got home.
She wanted to ruin that flight.
But I know you don't want to hear this, but the refrigerator's not working. So of course I come home to a fucking refrigerator completely done. So yeah, just kind of getting everything back up and running.
No mold though.
Not that I know of. Like, it could be behind every wall. I'm not even trying to notice it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely not inspecting under the sink for the mold. But I mean, if I did, I'd have a little bit of dice money left over. I think I could take care of the mold if we found a little bit. That's for sure.
Check the ice maker always.
Yeah, you got to make sure the little spouts are clean. You always got to take your little spouts off and make sure you clean those every now and then.
Indeed, you do. We've got a couple cards to talk about. We're going to recap the Sao Paulo card. Are my ears fucked, or were people saying like San Paulo a bunch of times when they were announcing it? There was like a weird pronunciation in there.
Sao.
I didn't like it.
Sao.
Yeah. It's obviously Sao. And then we're going to break down UFC 295. Yuri Procházka, Alex Pereira, light heavyweight title, allegedly. And Sergei Pavlovich and Tom Aspinall, heavyweight title, also allegedly.
Very, very fucking allegedly.
a lot of alleged stuff on this card.
Yeah.
Good fights, though, at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think this one will end up more entertaining than the previous pay-per-view. But only time will tell on that. Time told in the main event, because it went 25 minutes last week.
It was like 22-1.
The Jailman. What happened to the Jailman?
I forget if it was our buddy Aaron or if it was another one of the media members, but they definitely tweeted out that goes to decision was some obscene number.
1,200.
Right before
22. It was plus 22.
Jailman decision was 22.
Yeah.
Decision was 12.
Yeah.
So
they tweeted that out, and they're like, "Have we ever seen something this high?" And we knew it was cursed at that point. Rip up the tickets.
Oh well. Got greedy trying to pick the the exact round. Should have just done not round 1 or like starts round 2.
Yeah.
That was my mindset going in, but not a great look for the Jailman. I don't know if he got on top of Derek Lewis and saw them big old hittes and just wanted to hang out and mount for a while, and that's what was happening. The good old conjugal 25-minute. You got to use as close to your full half hour as you can get. It's how things go. So he's just trying to take advantage, right, Shaun?
Sure. That was disappointing. In multiple ways. We didn't get any meme Derek Lewis shit, and the Jailman just kind of disappointed. He obviously is young, but like, did you hurt your elbows? Did you hurt your hands? Why were you not punching this man that was just laying on his back in mount for fucking 4.5 minutes each round? And not a great look. I mean, the weird thing is, most guys at heavyweights, he just gets them out of there with the arm triangle in the first round.
That is very true.
Derek Lewis has got like a basketball sitting on top of fucking 2 meat hocks. Like, you can't. There's no triangle in this guy. Like, at least the dude was like, you know what, this just isn't gonna fucking happen. You know what I'm saying?
The master of the corpse defense.
Yeah. Some guys are built like that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I will say a couple things for Jailman. Like, look, that was a horrible fucking performance. I mean, it's horrible because he dominated so much in a certain position. He should have got the finish. That's why it was horrible. As far as like pure fucking domination over a dude that's like very dangerous, like he completely dominated him. Look, Lewis got on top of that dude at one point, and Jailman just kind of like did a Lewis and kind of stood him up and rolled him back over. Like, Jailman did good things in spots to where we've never seen. You know, he got put in a couple spots. He caught some punches from Derek Lewis. Like, Derek Lewis, when he got up a couple times, landed some fucking haze on him. It does suck that I think it was towards the end of the second round, Jailman finally started coming up underneath him, was on his back, and like started blasting him from up under his arms and shit. And Lewis was like, fuck that.
But then he stopped.
Yeah,
the fucked up thing is then he stopped. Why did he stop doing that?
I think that once he didn't get that side choke early, he had a feeling this was going to go a while, and I think he didn't want to fucking gas himself out. Like, that had to be the only reason why he didn't. Because I mean, dude, the complete mounts he had and never dropped an elbow. Now, I don't know if he threw an elbow in the fight, which is fucking wild. But
so I'm looking at the stats right now, and for significant strikes, and I think it actually is kind of relevant on the ground. Like, on the feet, it means nothing. It's anything that touches the guy.
Anything that's not a jab. Yeah.
Yeah. No, a jab even counts as a significant.
Oh yeah, jab even counts. Yeah.
Anything at distance, it's stupid. Anyway, he landed 16 significant ground strikes on in the third round, and 0 in the fourth and fifth combined.
Yeah, that
does not make sense.
Bad. That's just bad. Like, you gotta do more than that. And he looked tired though. Like, he fucking looked gas from that. That's gonna be your thing with Jailman. I think that dude is so fucking talented. Like, what heavyweight is stopping that blast double? Like, there's only a couple that might stop that a couple times. I get it was Derek Lewis. That dude will roll over and fall down for fucking anybody. And my God, I'm going to go one thing on the black. Can people get on? Like, I know he's old and shit now, man. I know the guy's got the KO record, but God damn, what a shit MMA fighter that Derek Lewis is. Always has been. This was laughable. Like, that dude was literally just falling the fuck over. It was pretty fucking hilarious. But like, Jailman's good. And I see a few people like this week that are literally like, oh, he's way off. Like, he's way off. That dude's still very good. This was sort of a bad performance outside of the dominance. You got to finish in spots like that. Man, can we like not forget the dude's got like 11 fights, has dominated every fucking one of them, just fought a perennial top 5, top 10 heavyweight that has knocked a lot of dudes out and completely dominated him. at home and shit, like all of that, those circumstances, like I am nowhere near ready to write the Jailman off. Like, come the fuck on. Like, what are we talking about? This dude's got some legit skills, man.
There's
Definitely
three
not.
guys that can grapple at heavyweight.
I know,
Like,
that's the thing. So,
like, if it wasn't Derek Lewis, how many dudes does he finish with that side choke he locks on Derek Lewis?
almost
Like, how many guys? There's
Almost all.
Almost all of them. And he got that with ease in the first round. Literally with ease. He was on it like immediately. There's 90.
I thought at that point it was over. Like my round 2 stupid shit had absolutely no chance.
Like the guy's so legit. Like, and then I'm not gonna gloss over it. Like that was, but we see spots in that fight to where, like, if the dude would have just like at the end of the second threw a little more, threw some actual ground strikes, Lewis would have turtled up and got out of there. Nobody would be talking like this. You know what I'm saying? But that is on him, and I don't like how he was talking like afterwards. I'm sure he's like he's like, that was the game plan. I was here to dominate him for 25 minutes. No, you wasn't, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up. You ain't there to lay on anybody.
Then
He definitely was. Yeah, as he's got him in the arm triangle in the very first round. I was trying to go 5, but
that dude is fucking legitimate, and they're 90% of the heavyweight division gets fucking dropped, taken down, and choked the fuck out by that guy. He's still very dangerous and gonna be a title contender very, very soon.
I think if he fights Gone next, then he will be getting a title shot very soon. If he fights Blades next, which is what this matchup was supposed to be, it gets a little more sketchy. That's an interesting fight.
That's an interesting fight for sure. If I was him, I'd be like
it'll just answer some stuff because at this point we just don't know what the Jailman has for hands. Some people they think they're bad. I think it's more of a big unknown because of how much success he has taking people down. If he can't take down Blades, then
for what he needs.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'll just be an interesting. I mean, it might turn into one of those shitty boxing fights between two grapplers that can't grapple, but at heavyweight that might be a little less of a thing.
All right, let's move on. And unless you, Wes, one last thing to add, or no?
No, I'm good. We can move.
All right, we'll move on to the rest of the card. Blow through the rest of this pretty quick. Lightweight division, Mark D1 KC.
D1 showed up, didn't he?
Split decision over Cowie Fernandez. Eduarda Moura, second round TKO over the Monster Rat. Angela Hill, unanimous decision over Denise Gomes. Vitor Petrino busts Amaz Bukaki in the face with a left hook. One shot and she's out. Minute 3 of round 2. What did I say? Did I say something? Welterweight division. Welterweight division.
Let's go.
Dushku comes back in the third round to force.
There's another one, Shaun. Sorry,
draw with Renat. Fuck right off.
There's another one, Shaun. There's another bet this year that's literally like a plus 270. That is like fucking crazy. That's there, man. I guess I get the draw, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that I thought it should have been a draw. I thought that was fine. I mean, he should have done a better job finishing. I mean, we talked about it in the main event, so
he had him. He had him. I don't really care about the first 2 fights. I think you were on Angela Hill, Brad.
Indeed, I was. Yeah,
she kind of is underrated most of the time because she does have flaws, but she's still better than these bums in this weight class. So, yeah, the Bukaki got absolutely smoked. Still don't think Petrino's that good. He got splattered. And then fuck right enough. I had the under 2.5 in this fight. Looked good, real early, but after that, and then real late. But yeah, that was after the under already lost. But fun fight. Nice to see old Elijah Dushku still just being a man in there, and
he's like Massaranduba tier, Grandpa Trinaldo tier at this point.
He just needs to fight more. I think that's what it is. Grant Trinaldo for that stretch there was fighting more. We just need this dude to fight more because he's very fun to watch. His fights are usually interesting one way or another. I thought Fakhretdinov would be better than that. He's got some holes, but he's still very skilled. So it's gonna be a tough guy to cap going forward.
And just got like weird power.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't strike well, but when he hits guys, it obviously does something. Wes, thoughts on prelims?
Yeah, I got a little doesn't start round 3 in a chick fight, which was pretty wild. That cashed. Angela Hill, Sean's right. Like, how many times is she gonna be a dog against these Midland chicks and just what you get out of her every single time? She's gonna press forward. She's gonna throw a bunch of punches. They're not gonna hurt anybody, but she's gonna throw a bunch of punches. She's gonna push them to the cage and control them as much as she can. And she's gonna take decision after decision, man. Like constantly, even if she's like losing. How many split decisions has gone Angela Hill's way? And she gets these fights, man. And I think she was plus 140 in this fight. Like I bet her almost every time now, like automatically, and she gets it done. Yeah. Oh, the old fucking lost child of Bobby Petrino. We're gonna get this motherfucker because I'm telling you, he ain't great. Like that's a good knockout against Bukaki. Pretty tough, durable dude. But Bukaki has been splattered quite a few times in his career. I think this is kind of a fluke. I don't think Petrino's pretty good, and I think he's going to be like massive prices against guys going forward. Man, like if one judge gives, was it the second round that was closer in that fight? Like one judge gives him the same, like. I don't know. I thought you could have gave him the second, man. I thought it was close. That's why I kind of feel a little.
The second one is obviously the closest.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been a hometown decision, but not like an egregious.
Not
one.
a crazy one.
I don't think it would have been like robbing of a draw there. I don't think it would have been that bad. It was close. I don't argue it. Like I can't argue with the draw. I thought our boy got the second, man. And you're right about fuck right off, man. Like that dude's pace for 2 rounds is insane, but then he dies. Like literally, then he dies. He's done in the third. If that dude could do that for 15 minutes, he would be an absolute problem because he's got sneaky power. His pace is crazy. His output is crazy for 10 minutes. Then he's about toast.
You know who it would be fun if he fought? Somebody who is on later this card that we'll get to. But first, the main card showdown between Brazilians Elvis Brenner and Kenan Khrushchevsky. Brenner knocks him out. Weird knockout. 4 minutes, 1 second of the first round. I'm not sure that I learned much about him in that fight. It was kind of weird. And then we'll go through the rest, the 3 of these first. Caio Borralho, unanimous decision over Abbas, the worst Magomedov. Rodrigo Nascimento, unanimous decision over Don'Tale Mayes. Those fights both really fucking sucked.
Abbas is fucking terrible. Wild that he was only, plus 120, plus 130 to crazy. A Sean Strickland only less than a year ago. Borralho, he's got skills, but I think he needs a decent step up, and then we'll find out what he actually is. I had the under in the shitty heavyweights fight. Once again, it looked okay at some points early, but yeah, it just didn't get there, and that was probably the most pointless rematch that the UFC's had in a while.
I can think of a few title fights. Oh man, I was gonna say something and I lost it. So Wes, you talk about those if you want to.
Yeah, that Brenner knockout was pretty cool. Weird, hit him like
right behind the ear.
behind
behind
like
the ear.
It's
top,
behind the ear, but going the other
but
way.
top
Yeah.
off the head, so it looks so weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old Bahio, man, is like, I think he's pretty good, but goddamn, he's boring. Like, this definitely the worst med off that's ever stepped into the octagon, like ever. Gotta be the worst dude med off. Had some under in that heavyweight fight, and that was just, I feel fucking. I was kind of disappointed in myself that I did not have super heavyweight, and I actually bet the under. Like, that's just, it's my year, man. Get off a fucking super heavyweight of a super fatties off of two just sacks of shit like
Slugs.
that. I should be like not betting MMA anymore. Like, well, I think we stopped there. Yeah.
We'll get you back on track. And
God.
what got this card back on track for
Yeah.
at least one fight? Nicolas Dalby, second round, 4 minutes and 33 seconds, thankfully. Just batters Gabriel Bonfim with everything but a lot of knees. And that was one of the most fun performances that I've seen probably all year. Shaun, thoughts on the old Dalby?
Just what a man. As soon as he came out and was being aggressive, I was like, oh fuck, he's gonna die real quick, and that does not really help our over 1.5. But man, he trusts himself. He trusts his durability, his cardio, and we've seen some other guys do this before. His main skills are his cardio and his durability, and he pushes a pace and takes some shit, but he's pretty good defensive grappler. Didn't nothing got too close when it hit the ground, but yeah, it's a pretty cool story. Got his shit together, and has won some fights that he probably shouldn't have, and a lot of people doubted him, and yeah, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch those fights where you can kind of feel it, and you can be like, this is a big underdog that is kind of turning the tide, and he kept rolling with it.
Well, you said when he came out to start the first round, you're like, oh shit, he's gonna get his ass kicked. But then he did the exact same thing in the second round. And you're like, oh, okay.
This is better.
Wes, Nicolas Dalby. Should we change his nickname from Danish Dynamite to Danish Damage? Because he's doing the Elkins thing. He doesn't wear it like Elkins, but he's doing the Elkins thing.
I mean, what's a Danish yam? Like, that's what I want to know. Because yeah, he quote unquote changed his life around. Yeah, he fucking changed some things around. That man has got Lance Armstrong level EPO pumping through his fucking veins. Like, there's just no fucking.
So.
It's got, dude, look at that guy. He is absolutely shredded now, and just fucking the pace. Like, look, Shaun's right. That his best assets, his durability, his cardio, because man, he was getting the fuck beat out of him. Like, Bonfim was smoking that dude. And man, Bonfim died like it was fucking Brazilian dude level. It was another Brazilian dude level fucking death. That dude literally stopped. He was fucking, everything was gone out of that guy. And like the whole world
7
saw
minutes.
it. Yeah, the whole world, like my whole Twitter feed was just all of us.
I couldn't even bet it because they just, as soon as he stopped fighting, they just took it down.
Yep. I think
Dalby was like plus 600 at that point.
I think everybody was trying to get it too, and we all saw it coming. The whole world saw what was happening. Like that you can't get Dalby gone. It's fucking Elkins level type shit, man. And Dalby doesn't even wear it. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dalby's what, like 30, late 30s now? Yeah, I mean,
he's late 30s.
Pretty good pretty good little win streak at the end of his career again. I mean, this dude was hyped. I still think this guy's good. It was one of those situations where you go all out to finish a dude and it's just the wrong dude. You better get him out of there, because if you don't, It's death.
My man's gonna be 39 in a week.
39. Bonfim's like what, 25, 26? Like legit phenom. That kid is good, man. He is really fucking good.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yep.
I've never seen Nicolas Dalby in that much trouble in any fight. I don't think ever. Like the Ronson fight, but Ronson was on steroids, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, doesn't count.
That does it for last week's card. Took a little bit of time there, not too much. We'll see how we can do on the flip side here. UFC 295, New York.
God.
Yeah.
God.
No John Jones, though, sadly. Fuck.
That's unfortunate.
We're kind of used to that at this point.
Yeah. I never really expect him to fight, so I guess eventually we'll see the fight that we don't really care about with
a retirement fight for both competitors.
Yeah. But not on Saturday night. Instead, we are going to kick it off in the featherweight division. Jamal Emmers taking on Dennis Buzukja. Shaun.
I don't have too much here. I think if this fight stays on the feed, it's probably a bit closer than what the odds say, but I think Emmers is going to wrestle and going to be able to get Buzukja down, and he probably wins a decision.
That sounds like an Emmers thing to do, Wes.
Yeah, pretty much same breakdown, but I kind of have a little bit stronger feeling that this line is a little too wide. So it's absolute dogger pass for me here.
Yeah, I think, when that gangly, slender man, Sean Woodson, is able to take you down a bunch of times, Emmers should be able to, but sometimes Emmers just fights like a moron. And if this is
definitely dumber than Woodson. Definitely dumber than Woodson.
So yeah, I guess I could see it becoming a stupid fight and Buzukja making it close, but I'm not really interested in betting this. I don't know. What's even like over is over minus 200. No thanks. So we will move on to, I think it's the flyweight division. I lost my tab for a second there. I'm terrible at this. Flyweight division. Joshua Van taking on Kevin Borjas. Shaun.
Don't know much about the old Borjas. I'm assuming this is gonna be a fun ass fight because Borjas has 9 wins and 8 of them are by KO, which you don't really see much at the lower weight classes. Of course, those are probably against terrible regional guys, but as we saw in the Zumagula fight, Joshua Van is a very fun guy to watch. Most of these flyweights are, so it's gonna be a fun fight. I'll probably take Van just because I've seen him, but no bet.
Wesley.
Yeah, Van probably the rightful fave here. I saw Borjas's Contender Series fight. It was one of those fucking shitty fights where everybody's getting a contract. We saw, Van's got a bunch of KOs. He gets up to the UFC level, and of course, it's 15 minutes. Good performance, fun, but it's 15 minutes. Borjas, bunch of finishes, gets to the Contender Series, fights an okay guy. It's 15 minutes. I like the over here. 125-pound guys. I think it's going to be a fun fight, but I just think they're both decent dudes that I don't see the other one finishing on there. So fun fight, probably some action. 125-pound dudes. Like the over. It's plus money at Bet Online.
I wasn't going to do anything on this fight, but I do indeed like that over. So probably going to join you on that one, Wes. Don't really have an opinion on who's going to win. Like, this happens with flyweights all the time. There's a million good flyweights out there, so I don't know if these guys are good and we haven't just seen them yet. They might be, so I'm going to take that over, like Wes, and move along. We are stepping it up a little bit, like a weird amount. 138. Is that just a typo?
No, that got changed today. I have not
today.
Yeah, it was today that they changed it from a bantamweight fight to a 138. Did you say?
Yes.
And
Yes,
it's probably for
so I'm not-
Castañeda.
It's
I would assume-
Castañeda asking.
I would assume it's for Castañeda,
But
but
it's gonna help Kang more. Watch. That's how this is gonna go.
Could be.
Could be.
Kang's a big
Well,
fucking 135er, bro. He's
I was gonna
massive.
say, Wesley, if you have that opinion, please elaborate.
yeah.
Yeah,
What you got,
I
Wes?
mean, I like Kang here. Like, I mean, this is probably gonna be standing up most of the time. Like, Castaneda's probably gonna try to get a couple takedowns. Kang's been taken down in the past, but Castaneda's it's okay. Just think this ends up on the feet. Kang's the bigger, longer guy. Got some power. Like, I like him in the spot as a dog.
Shaun.
Was good to see you, Mr. Tom, when we were in Vegas. I think even the grappling, like Castañeda, yeah, like he's decent offensively, but he can be taken down too. And Kang has some solid wrestling. So I kind of give the edge to Kang both on the feet and in the grappling. So I'm gonna bet him. I think the price is about 120 plus 122 at some cool bet. I'll be taking Kang.
I'm not sure I love Kang if this just happens on the feet, but Castañeda wants to grapple, and whenever Kang's in a grappling match, he turns it into this scrambly back and forth sort of stuff, and usually ends up winning more exchanges than he loses. And I think that's going to happen here. And I think they're both going to land because Castañeda just sort of walks forward and crashes into dudes. So going to be a close fight. I think the guy that wins more of the scrambles is Kang, and he is the underdog. So we're going to take a little Kang plus 120 out there. I don't know if there's anything higher. I'll take a quick peek for that, but going to be betting Kang and moving on. Lightweight division. Jared Gordon. Is he in New York, guy? New York or Boston? I don't know. They're the same, right? They don't get offended when you say that, right?
He's a New York guy. Queens.
Makes
motherfucker.
sense. Ooh. Anyway, he's taking on not a New York guy, Mark Madsen. He's Danish too, isn't he? The other Danish guy just did pretty good. Daneland's on a Denmark. Denmark is on a heater right now. Shaun, what do you got in this one?
I mean, Madsen is coming off a loss, but that was to a very good guy in Grant Dawson. And that's just a tough stylistic matchup for Madsen. I don't think Jared Gordon's going to have the grappling of Grant Dawson. So I think he probably has a bit of success there. It is hard to trust a guy that's, 39 and he's had a lifetime of he hasn't been fighting for a lifetime, but even wrestling for that long is probably not great for the body. So I'm staying away from a bet, but I'll be picking Madsen to implement the grappling and probably win the decision.
Wes, do you think Madsen and Dalby share the same Danish pharmacist?
I mean, Madsen's been a part of the Olympics, so that man's probably turned Dalby onto his pharmacist.
Yeah.
Here lately, is how that went.
That makes sense with the timeline. I think you might be onto something.
Yeah, I like Jared Gordon, like his run recently, but we're getting into a territory here where he's being a little overhyped, like off of his recent success. Like, I mean, gotta look back. He's got some losses to some good guys. I just think this is a bad matchup, man. I think Madsen can absolutely grapple on the spot. You're getting a really nice price. The one thing I worry about is, man, Madsen can tire. It's kind of shocking that a guy that has wrestled all his life, probably on the good gear all his life, that we've watched him wilt in some thirds, man. So I like Madsen, but I might look at some Gordon round 3. I think that was plus 900 or plus 1100 last time I looked. That's the only thing that I mean, it wouldn't shock me, but that's the path I see for Gordon in this spot is Madsen just dominating some grappling for 2 rounds and then him gassing like a motherfucker. And we've seen Gordon stay in fight. So maybe look at Gordon round 3 as a little bit of a hedge. But I like Madsen here to get a couple rounds grappling at plus was it some plus 160 out there? I gotta take some of that.
Yeah, that line seems pretty long to me as well. Plus 165s for Madsen. Even if he does tire in this fight, Wes, do you know how many 3rd round finishes Jared Gordon has?
None.
Do you know how many times he's been finished in the 3rd round?
Probably a handful.
Just twice.
Twice. But it's happened. Yeah.
It's happened on multiple occasions, and one of them to Grant Dawson. So not the worst thing they both just kind of got overwhelmed by Dawson in the same way. But I think when they match up, Madsen probably he's definitely the more athletic dude here. He's definitely the better wrestler here. So unless Gordon can somehow physically make this a dogfight, and I'm not sure he can, I think that Madsen's going to roll for at least the first 10 minutes, and I don't think he's getting stopped in the 3rd by Jared Gordon. So I'm going to take some Madsen, plus 165. Decision price might be nice. I don't know. I didn't look at it. There's a plus 170 out there. Wow. Would you look at that? Madsen by decision. Yeah, it's not worth betting. So money line. And we move on. Lightweight division. Oh, Slava cold soup back, baby. I love the cold soup. The Borscht taking on Nazim Sadykhov. Do I recognize that name, Shaun? Or like, is it just the creative version fighter of John Smith in Russia?
I mean, he didn't fight that long ago, and he beat Terrence McKinney. There was definitely some fuckery in that fight. That's kind of when he was hanging on the cage, and it's always cheat in MMA. That's our motto. So good on him. Yeah, it's an interesting fight. Slava Claus has a pretty good amount of power, and Sadykhov can be hit. Elder rocked him. Elder hit him a bunch. I know McKinney was just all about grappling in that fight. I would have been interested to see what McKinney could do on the feet, even against him. I think I'm going to side with the old cold soup, but I don't think I'm going to bet it. Cold soup by TKO is like plus 260 at bet 365. It's not terrible. Probably the way he's going to win. So I might take a small shot on that.
Wesley.
Yeah, I think this is actually a pretty good fight here. Yeah, old cold soup is gonna wanna have a boxing match here, and I think if it's there, I favor the old cold soup in that spot. Sadykhov isn't horrible on the feet, but think he's got some worse striking defense than the old Slava. Slava's sharp, man. That dude can bang on the feet, got some power. Now if this does get to the mat, if Sadykhov can get a couple takedowns here, I think he's got an advantage there. But we've seen Slava have some decent takedown defense. I know he's been taken down a little bit in the past, but he usually gets back up and is definitely trying to scramble back up. He's not just going to lay there. So I think this probably takes place mostly on the feet. And at that kind of fight, man, I just like I like the old cold soup striking a little bit better. I just think he's sharper. He's got a little bit of power. Like Shaun said, we've seen Sadykhov get hit in pretty much all of his UFC fights. So I'm kind of siding with the cold soup here, and there's some plus money out there on him. I don't think that's bad. That KO price isn't bad, and the under 2.5. There's like a one minus 147, minus 150 out there. I'm gonna watch it. If that gets down like any lower, maybe into the 130s at all, I'm gonna take some of the under because I think one of these dudes finds a finish. I definitely lean Cold Soup getting the finish though.
Wes has a lot on that fight. I have nothing. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I feel like the Cold Soup could probably easily get wrestled by this guy, but I don't know if Sadykhov's gonna go out and wrestle. So like I don't like it. I don't trust it.
Damn, that's coming from like a OG Slava Claus fucking better and supporter. Woo, might have to pass on this.
Eating the Cold Soup in the bread line back in the day, in the gulags.
Fucking before Putin even started poisoning people, he was on the Cold Soup, bro. Fuck.
That's a long way back. Again, lightweight division. This one has changed a couple times, I think. I don't know. I only look at it on Wednesday. Mateusz Rębecki taking on good old Rosie Roberts, making, I don't know if it's his return to the UFC or he just hasn't fought in forever, but
his return.
He's back.
He did tough. They're going to give him a fight, I guess.
Sure.
They'd serve him up, this guy. Good luck.
And yeah, he's plus 500. Shaun, thoughts?
So this is Roberts versus Rębecki, right? That's what we're talking about here. That's, I guess, the way you got to get back in the UFC is to take a last minute fight against a guy that seems to be a bit of a hammer. Roberts' streak at the end of his last UFC was a pretty rough one. Goes and gets a couple wins, waits to take a last minute fight, I guess, is his way back to the UFC. But Rębecki looked good against Razadinov. I think I had that one to go to decision, and he really fucked that one up. He destroyed that dude. I think
that must have happened
Roberts,
this year then, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think Roberts is going to get smashed here. I don't really see too much to do with this fight. I guess the lines finally came out. Under 2.5 is like minus 200. Probably. If you feel like, Rębecki by decision is only plus 215. I don't really see an angle in this fight. Let's just see some chaos.
Wesley?
Rębecki's gonna smoke Roosevelt Roberts here. Rębecki is actually pretty good. His pressure and pace is gonna be fucking stupid here. Look, Roberts beat like one of the total bums on Tough, and then fought Hubbard and got fucking smoked by Hubbard.
That's third Hubbard, son.
We just watched Hubbard, losing the finale, the Tough finale. And like Hubbard's who he is, and Roberts wasn't even close to him on there. Rębecki's gonna smoke this guy, and I don't know. I might parlay Rębecki inside the distance. It's like minus 190. I don't think it's a horrible parlay piece if you need something.
Remember when Jim Miller was a big dog to Rosie Roberts? That was
smoked him.
The days.
That wasn't even typical.
That was one of the early COVID classics.
Yeah.
Same guy. Still the same guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So no need to talk about that. Rębecki's minus 600. Not a lot of interest. Maybe I'll see a stupid prop that I like there. Women's strawweight division. Tabitha Ricci. Loopy Godinez. Is it Canada time or is it Mexico time, Shaun?
It's been Mexico time lately. I would not be surprised if the Canadian shows up. We're kind of due for that. I don't think this is going to be a good fight. Stylistically, it's interesting because both of them want to grapple, but I think that's going to make this turn into an even worse fight and just terrible striking on the feet, which Godinez has done some in the past when she's even had grappling advantages. Yeah, I don't care. I'll probably take the dog in Tote Master. Over 2.5 is like -400. That's what we're in for, folks. So you know the deal. Get your drinks, walk your dogs, come back half an hour later.
Wesley?
Yeah, I feel like this is a dog or nothing spot. It's just so close. They do a lot of the same shit. Ricci's money line is +150. Her by decision is +160. Like we know what's gonna happen here. It's gonna be 15 minutes of close dumb shit and flip a coin. I'll flip a coin and just take the dog. Probably not betting it, but definitely a pick in Toutmaster.
So there's only 10 cents different between Ricci and her decision prop.
Ugh.
There's like almost $1 between Godinez and her decision prop. So it
There
seems
we
like
go.
I'm just betting the numbers here, folks. I just can't
Maths.
wait to see these two get in there with the little T-Rex arms and just and not be able to take each other down and for 15 minutes.
It's the old split.
Split decision.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the split here? It's perfect.
If fight goes to split is like +400, +450.
Oh, that's the bet. You don't even want a side.
That's usually the lowest that they go on them too. So maybe this will be a little extra low, but we'll see. We shall see. Anyways, I do think that Godinez is going to win a decision, but scorecards always fun. Flyweight division. Alessandro Costa taking on Steve the Egg Dude. Shaun.
Steve the Egg Dude is a scary looking motherfucker. He is a lot better than we thought he was. I mean, you look like that, you got to defend yourself a lot growing up. So I guess that's helping him out these days. It's hard to gauge what Costa is. He just destroyed Jimmy Flick, he was a retired fighter who showed up and fought. And even back when he was fairly one-dimensional. So I don't know what to take from that. The Egg looked good against Dvorak, who's a kind of a trickier fighter at this weight class. So I'll pick the scary looking dude, but I still don't think he's amazing.
Wesley.
Yeah, I just think we're getting a little bit far out on a price here, though. Like this guy's -170 against Costa here. Like I know the win against Flick, like he did what he should have done, but like the short notice loss to fucking Albazi like wasn't bad. Like the dude was okay in that fight. Yeah, he lost. So he literally took it on like a couple weeks notice or something. Against like a legit guy, like a fucking top 6'7" dude. I think he's just better than this guy. I don't know, man. Maybe they're going like you said, Dorvac is definitely like a more known commodity. And it was a good performance and a good win, but outside of that, this guy's like choking out Asians in fucking eternal MMA and shit. Like, come on, man. Like Costa's got the far better level of competition in my mind. He's fought in the Contender Series. He fought Albazi, like he fought Jimmy Flick, smoked him. This dude is like +170 against this guy. Man, come on. I'll take some of that. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. If this Egg Dude is the dude, then so be it. But man, Costa with his level of competition at this kind of dog price, I'll take my chances and find out.
You might have talked me into another one. I'm not doing this one for sure yet, Wes, but again, it's more about the division, and you see guys come in, and sure, he lost to a top 10. I don't know, is Albazi a top 5 fighter now? Something
close to
pretty
it.
Close.
Yep.
And other than that, he's looked real damn good against guys that you should look good against. But yeah, Egg Dude had a good fight against a top 15 dude, but I think there's a lot of interchangeable top 15 dudes at flyweight. And again, maybe Costa's one of them. We'll see if I'm willing to pay to find out come Saturday night, or maybe slightly before that. Main card, finally. Actually, not finally. We went through that relatively quick. For the weight division. Soccer Mom Diego taking on Pat Sabatini. You know, if Lance was here, he'd be on Sabatini, which makes me want to reconsider some things. But anyway, Shaun, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I mean, I was leaning towards Sabatini as well, so that should give you pause as well. It's tough because obviously Lopes just smoked Gavin Tucker. That was good stuff. Did it very quick. Looked awesome. He looked good in a loss against Evloev, throwing up all kinds of shit. He's probably going to do that a bunch in this fight as well. Is Sabatini going to get caught? It's possible. I don't think he's as good as grappler as Evloev, so there might be some chances there. It's just tough for me to not take the guy that's going to be on top for almost all of this fight until it ends by decision, or if he gets subbed from the bottom. So I'm leaning towards Sabatini. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I think he wins a somewhat boring decision while dodging getting caught in shit.
Wesley?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I'm looking at it here. We know Lopes is getting taken down. We know Sabatini's going to get takedowns and going to get a lot of control, and that's why I like Sabatini here. Sabatini is one of those dudes where he's going to control. He's not going to take those dumbass chances to where something's going to get pulled on him. Can it happen? Yeah, absolutely. Like Lopes is pretty good off of his back, but man, a wrestler who you know is going to get takedowns and is a control guy over like a sub guy or something. Yeah, I like that spot here. I'm taking some Sabatini. I like some Sabatini decision too. There's some plus 275 out there in some spots. So I think that's how he gets it done. And at that kind of price, I'll definitely take a little of that as well.
It's going to be dangerous if we keep agreeing on stuff.
I know it's not, at least it's not Shaun. At least he's like not sure about all the stuff we like.
But yeah, I think this is going to be Sabatini getting takedowns, and maybe he's not as good a grappler as Evloev, but I think he's probably just about as good a grappler as Anderson Brito, or at least has as good control. So I think this is just going to be him on top, and I don't think it's going to be boring. It should be fun. That's why I like Lopes, because he's going to throw up subs and go for shit, and Sabatini's going to get out of it and get decent positions and land a little bit and work his way to a decision. So Sabatini, decision prop as well, is looking pretty decent. So we'll end up something in that range. Another lightweight fight.
Bangers. It's bangers,
Matt
man.
Frevola, who did indeed steamroller our boy Drew Doba.
Take a
He's
breath.
taking on the big swinging Denis, the BSD. Should be a banger, Shaun. Old-fashioned slobber knocker.
Yeah, this should be wild. Because I think Frivola's got decent. Well, not really. I mean, I was gonna say like he's. I mean, his numbers are obviously skewed because Sarukian just absolutely fucking took him down 10 times. So that'll obviously skew your takedown defense. But for the most part, he's got okay grappling defense. So we'll see if Denis can get him down. If not, it's gonna be a wild ass fight on the feet. Under 2.5 is like minus 330 at Bet365. It's a lot of juice to lay on an under, but it's calling my name. So you guys will probably get 15 minutes of fun. But I think the BSG gets him out of there.
BSD. Big swinging Denis. Wesley.
Yeah, I have a really fucking hard time seeing this fight going 15 minutes. Like, I'm pretty sure that under should be safe, but you never fucking know. Yeah, I think if Frevola wins this, he's got to do Frevola things, and it's got to be early. Definitely in the first or early. He's got to land one. I'm not sure this dude here, if Frevola even lands one on him, like he's a fucking robot, man. This guy is insane. Like chin, insane, cardio, insane. Like I was talking about that earlier. Like this dude's got those things like Dalby, but he's actually skilled. He's a scary fucking guy, man. Like Frevola round one is like plus 500. I'm not sure what round one KO is. It's probably around the same thing. I think if you like Frevola, it's probably about the way you take him. I like Saint-Denis inside the distance. It's minus 130 at Bet Online right now. That's my main bet on this. I don't like under 2.5 is probably a really good parlay piece. Like the early Frevola kind of scares me. I might take a small little, break even stab on that round one KO. But I like Denis to weather that, and we know what Frevola does if he can't get a dude gone pretty quick. Like he's just not the same guy minutes into a fight. So I like the old BSD to get a finish here inside the distance.
I think I'm gonna be looking big swinging Denis, round 2, round 3.
Yep.
Round 2's like 500. Round 3's I think up to 1,000. I think even if he gets taken down, Frevola could probably survive one round. But I think that it's going to wear on him. You can only take the BSD on you for so long before you give in, So, I like Benoit Saint-Denis to keep it rolling. This dude he's legit. And again, like cardio, toughness, like all that stuff, guys just weaponizing the shit out of it, and he's got some pretty damn good skills too. Women's strawweight division. Former champion Jessica Andrade taking on Mackenzie Dern. The divorce derby, if you will.
Where's Dougie at? It's his fucking time, and this man disappeared.
We should have got like replacement Dougie. We should have got Water Show.
Yeah.
Water Show is he is the divorce expert in 2023. He knows the modern relationships better. So we should have got him on for a guest spot here. But anyway, Shaun, fill the air as I get a beer.
I like the under 2.5 in this fight. I have a hard time seeing, if Dern doesn't get Andrade out of there early by getting her down or hopping on her back, I don't think she can withstand 15 minutes of the punches that Jessica Andrade is going to throw on her. At 115, there's not many that can take Andrade's power. I know she's obviously had a bit of a rough streak here. She did face 2 grapplers, but those are real wrestlers, not like Mackenzie Dern. The Jan fight, I don't know what happened there. Just gets absolutely knocked out by a woman that hasn't really shown much penchant for that in the upper levels of the UFC. So I don't know what happened there, but I think Dern does have an opportunity early to get a hold of her and grab a neck. But if she doesn't, she is going to get punched a lot. And I don't think she can withstand that. I know she's never been finished, but I don't think she's fought somebody with as much punching power as Jessica Andrade. So I like the under 2.5. I'll be putting in a parlay with the under 2.5 in the fight before it. And I'm actually gonna pick Andrade to knock her out. So maybe I'll get real bored and throw some money on that.
I think I'm starting to see what I have to do. Wesley?
Yeah, it rarely happens to me. I honestly don't know what to think of this fight. Like,
Weird one.
if this was before our last like two, like I'd be all over Andrade here as a dog against Dern. I don't know if Dern's got the takedown ability to get the takedowns consistently she needs on Andrade here before she gets blasted. But like Shaun said, like Dern's never been finished. And then just lately, man, Andrade, like Tatiana's gonna do what the fuck she's gonna do. Like there's no shame in that one. The Jan fight was just like, man, I was on her in that. I thought she looked okay against Blanchfield until she didn't, you know. So it's like, just don't know what to think of Andrade anymore. And you know, Dern's got, I mean, she beat Hill, but she lost to Jan and Marina Rodriguez and shit. Like her two wins are Tisha Torres and Angela Hill over the past couple of years. Like those are like horrible wins. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. I could see his fight going long. I don't know. I'm going to pick Andrade just because I seem to take her in every single fight. I just don't know if I can bring myself to bet on a dog that I'm picking to win at this point. It's wild. Usually I'm going to have 10 bets. This would usually always be one when Andrade is on the card and she's what is she now, like a plus 160 dog or something like that? That's
175.
Yeah, like if this hits 2-1, I'm absolutely playing her. Like I'll just put it like that. This hits 2-1, they start parlaying Dern and shit. I'm absolutely playing Andrade as a 2-1 dog. She'll be the pick. I have a hard time getting a good read on this fight.
I have to bet Andrade at this price. Right?
I feel the same way. It's tough, man. It's tough.
I don't think anything that she's done has indicated that she's like fallen off a cliff completely. I mean, it was earlier this year she beat Lauren Murphy, which
just more really bad matchup. You think just really bad matchup she's had? Like Andrade, you think
maybe she's declining a little bit, but it's not like she's like 32. She's not.
Yeah.
This is her fifth fight of 2023, which is not usually great. She's been fighting because she's broke. So
she's always been fairly active.
Well, Mackenzie Dern showed up to the press conference wearing like the living room drapes, looking like a wine wife.
Well, she lost her gym in the divorce too and stuff, right? Like he got the gym.
Doesn't sound good.
Doesn't sound good.
So this is they're fighting for everything in this one. We'll see what happens, but if I'm betting anything, it's gonna be Andrade. Maybe Andrade decision. I know it sounds a little weird, but like plus 400. Dern's tough, as we said. If she can't get takedown, she might just get beaten up for a while. Anyway, that brings us finally out of the lightweights and the women's strawweights. And of course, we jump past like all of the good divisions in between and go to heavyweights for an interim title. Should be a pretty fun fight, though. Sergei Pavlovich, Tom Aspinall.
Who?
Shaun. Who is Tom Aspinall?
Who? No.
The new who?
No. That has aged so well now. So fucking well. Because Tom Aspinall blew his knee out immediately after that. And the Hog went on to win a boxing match against the heavyweight champion of the world.
Wild times. Wild times. I like Pav here. The dude just has nuclear power. He's shown a fairly good chin. The question is Aspinall going to be able to get him down? Obviously, Pavlovich got taken down in his debut in the UFC. Since then, nobody's really had a chance to take him down because he's killed them before. Blade shot one takedown. It wasn't even really good try or anything like that. So that's a bit of an unknown. I know Aspinall is fast for a heavyweight. He's got fast hands. I just think Sergei's going to hit him. And when Pavlovich hits you, you usually go unconscious. So this is heavyweights. Heavyweights are stupid. Stupid things happen in heavyweight fights. So definitely not unloading the clip or anything like that. But Pavlovich has nuclear power, and he's a dog against a guy that's a little bit more of an unknown that kind of almost lost a round to old Andrei Arlovski not that long ago. So this is going to be a good test for both guys. I just think Pavlovich has the meme heavyweight power.
There it is, Wesley.
Yeah, I think both of these dudes are good comparative to heavyweight. I think one guy could be like the champ of the world though, and that's Pavlovich. Like this guy's the truth in my opinion. Like nuclear fucking power. He's got a chin. We saw Blades like baby shoot on this motherfucker. Like that's Aspinall. You like, come on, man. Aspinall better connect on this guy. You know what I'm saying? And he better have the power that everybody thinks he has when he's knocking out like dudes that are like, okay, Pavlovich is deading everybody. I like him here. Him as a dog, I wish I'd have just took the opener for whatever I could have got. I missed it. I think he opened like plus 130 or something, plus 140. Come on, man. Like, and how do we know that Aspinall doesn't blow out another knee and shit? Like the dude seems brittle. Like he does. He seems like a dude that could be injury prone and shit.
Late notice too. Like I know Pavlovich wasn't scheduled for a fight, but he was scheduled to be the backup. So at least he was training hard in case. And he knew John Jones was fighting. So there was a greater than 80% chance that he was going to be fighting. So I think he's going to be more ready. That's for sure.
What man do you think stays ready year round, and what man do you think doesn't? Like Pavlovich stays ready. Look at that guy. Look at Aspinall. Like that he's drinking beers in the off season. You know what I'm saying? Like Pavlovich is like some Yuri type shit. That dude's ready. I like him in this spot. I like him a lot. It's gonna be a good size bet for me, and hopefully it goes different than most of those for me this year. But I think this guy's the heavyweight champ. Like out of all the dudes out there, this is the dude that I thought gave John Jones his biggest worry. Only because like good, I think okay takedown defense, but that power's different. It's fucking different, man. And it ain't just that he's got it, he lands. Like some of these guys got big power, they hit shoulders and shit. They can't land that shit. Pav lands on the button every single time. Like him here. I think he's going to nuke fucking Aspinall.
Well, he lands because he's willing to eat it to land.
Yeah, he'll engage. Like he'll throw down. And I mean, we've seen him take some clean shots, man, and he stood up pretty fucking good.
I like him as well. I think that in a lot of Aspinall's fights, he's looking to grapple anyway. And if you're coming out and you're not ready to exchange with Pavlovich, he's just going to blow your doors off. And even if you are ready to exchange, and Aspinall's probably one of the few guys that actually has a little bit of skill and speed, that he can probably land a few good shots in this fight. I just think that it's not going to be enough. And then he's going to start resorting to the grappling, and I don't think it's going to go well from that point. And I don't think it's going to take too long for that whole thing to turn around. So I like Pav as a dog, or even, hopefully it moves around a little bit more before the fight goes. And I think he gets it done quick. What do we have for the early stuff? It's like plus 250 for round 1. I don't love that. Maybe just a little bit. We'll see. But Sergei Pavlovich plus 100. Is that what we're using?
Yep.
Consensus bet of the week.
Bingo.
Right there. Have we won? I feel like we've won a couple of these in a row.
So obviously we won last week with the over. Volkanovski, Makachev. We had Bruno Silva.
Oh no. Wow. One feels like a lot in a row this year.
We've won some lately though.
We did win Barboza and Elkins the week before that with the combo, because that was the you and Brad special where I didn't taint anything. Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Wes and I are on a streak.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Let's make it 3 out of 4.
Main event, light heavyweight division. For the vacant title, for Jamal's title, if you will. Lock the door. Yuri Procházka coming back, just walking around the streets of New York with fucking katanas and shit. What sort of lawless country do you folks live in? I mean, guns are one thing. That's a civilized weapon. But a sword in the streets? Savages. And the other dude's just walking around with a bow everywhere. This is a ridiculous fight. Shaun, the arrow guy against the sword guy. Which one do you like?
I like the arrow guy. It's pretty wild if Pereira wins, him being a double champ, with like 6 UFC fights, some shit like that. He'll have 7 UFC fights. Yeah. That'll be wild.
But that's what we said we all wanted when he came over. So I'm glad that this actually has played out the way, like, this dude doesn't have a lot of years in his career. So I'm glad.
That's how they should do a lot of guys like that. That's how they should do it. Like, does it take it down a level though that it's at middleweight and light heavyweight current day?
Hey, the man does not choose what weight he can make.
It's nuts. I know it's nuts.
It's
apparently
likely
in Alex Pereira's case.
Yeah, it probably could only be done at these weight classes. So that is a little bit of an asterisk, but man, he's fucking good, and he's way better than I ever thought he would be. Obviously, there's some dumb meme shit in there that he was able to pull out, but he is a very good striker, and I think this fight is going to be strictly striking. Could Yuri, switch it up and take him down? It's possible. I think Pereira will be able to fight it off. He fought it off against Jan for a full round, and then when this gets back to the feet, he's going to be the much sharper striker. The leg kicks are going to be nasty in this fight. Yuri loves to get hit. That being said, this is light heavyweight, just like heavyweight. Stupid shit can happen. So Yuri could, just throw spinning fucking windmill punches and somehow land one and put Pereira out. But if dumb shit doesn't happen, I think Pereira gets him out of there. And I mean, Yuri is coming back after surgery. He's has 3 UFC fights in like 38, 39 months. Like, this dude is not active. He's barely fought anybody. This is a good chance for Alex Pereira. So I will be betting him.
You can't say he's barely fought anybody when more than half of his career is him getting his ass whooped by Glover.
Fair. I meant other than Glover. Like, he fought the ghost of Dominic Reyes. He fought Volkan. Like, those are his... Other than Glover, those are his 2 other wins in the UFC. And he was losing to Glover. Glover just needed to survive the 5th round. Like,
so fucking
let's
sad,
not rehash sad fucking events, because
there's one fight I could change. Just one. that one.
Yeah, even over like Go Bronx mac and cheese, like we knew that was
He's
like,
got time. He's got time.
like that was just like clear. Like the Glover loss was just, oh my god. Yeah, I mean, look, I think that matters. I think Pereira's activity, you know what I'm saying, even goes like to the other side of it. He's been active, like he's been in fights. Um, Look, I really like Yuri. Like he's exciting fighter. I think he's good. But I mean, man, even when Pereira was kickboxing, he was kickboxing the best dudes in the world. You know what I'm saying? And Yuri's when he's in MMA is he fought fucking Jake Kuhn and Halsley and Mo
CB
Lawal in
Dalloway?
2019, Fabio Maldonado, CB Dalloway. Those were the dudes he was just smoking over in Risen. And
Hey,
like,
he
cool.
Mo Lawal with a Kevin Randleman-sized staph infection, so that's
It's like
pretty impressive.
it's fine that he got his like there are a lot of people that pay attention over there to that, you know, myself included, was one to see Yuri over here for a while. And yeah, I mean he got the Volcan win, but then the ghosted, like, you know, the competition level definitely is different. I just think the fight breakdown for me is I don't think Yuri goes for takedowns much. And I think if he does, we have seen Alex now at this point to where if you don't have a really good like takedown game, a good double leg or something, like if you try to upper body him and try to trip him and shit like that, it just doesn't work. He's got at least gotten to that point to where that basic shit doesn't get him to the mat at this point. Um, I think he's gonna be the bigger guy here, which also helps him in that regard. And on the feet, man, it's like Yuri's style and what he wants to do for me sets up perfect for Alex. Like he's gonna be able to sniper a dude that is throwing wild fucking spinning shit and stuff. Um, I like Pereira in this fight quite a bit. I think the dude is gonna be a double champ here. Um, uh, all the other shit matters to me as well. The shoulder surgery to where they said he might not fight until next year. It was so devastating and shit. Now he's back training. How does that play out when he's throwing that wild shit? You know what I'm saying? How's that shoulder hold up? The inactivity Shaun talked about. Pereira's been very active. Just think he's the sharper striker here. He's one of the best kickboxing pure strikers we have in MMA at this point. So I like Pereira here. I think he gets it done.
Yeah, originally I thought that, if there's even a chance that this ends up on the mat, then it's going to go poorly for Alex. Or Alex. I forget how they say it. Alex. But as Wes said, Yuri doesn't grapple. He's literally shot one takedown in his UFC career, and that was, I think, after just about getting killed by Dominic Reyes, and he just kind of like fell into a takedown. And Reyes was like, "Yeah, I'm good with this, even though I might win this fight if I do something now." I think that was that segment. Even when he was getting his ass beat by Glover, he didn't even like think about shooting a takedown. I'm just like, well, I'm gonna keep throwing, and maybe he'll take me down, and I can somehow reverse him out of nowhere. And so he's gonna push forward against Pereira, and he's gonna do weird shit. And I saw a clip earlier on the Twitter machine of how even Glover's hands were fast enough to get around his hand fighting and drop him. So if Glover's doing that to you, Alex Pereira is probably gonna land some big shit on you. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Alex here as well. And I don't know what's going on there. Am I betting it?
What
I don't know yet.
where do y'all put something like that? A dude seriously becoming a double UFC champ in 7 fights. Like that is just one belt in that amount of time is Brock level shit. Like 2, it's fucking insane.
It is. For some reason, I feel like the fact that he's also like in the Glory Hall of Fame now, which
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a real thing.
But widely considered.
I feel like that
one of the
detracts
great,
from it
yeah.
because he's like starting from a higher place than someone like Brock did.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's just the only comparison we have
Yeah, I know.
to it.
Which
But
is crazy.
two belts in 7 fights that's never done again. That literally, like, Pereira is just the perfect guy in the perfect spot in time to do it. I don't know how long it is before we get that dude that's, like you said, Glory Hall of Fame or whatever. He's widely considered one of the greatest kickboxers of all time. You know, when do we get
It'll
that?
definitely be one of the greatest combat athletes to combine both his kickboxing and his MMA. I hope he can defend.
Cejudo's and like those guys.
Yeah, if he wins it, hopefully he can defend it.
Yeah. Well, Cejudo
took a lot longer, but
it definitely took longer. But Cejudo and I mean, even with the wrestling gold medal, that people don't want to. They kind of take that away, but that legitimately puts, however you feel about him, puts Cejudo at a level above most.
Yes. I feel like as much as I love Pereira and enjoy watching his fights, it's a lot more about the division than like it's got to be the right dude and the right division. Because you're not just going to walk into lightweight with his skill set and become the champion and then do it at welterweight as well.
The man's had great timing is definitely the case. He's had great timing. Like, he's obviously extremely skilled.
Get the fights. Yeah.
But with John Jones cursing this division and Ankalaev just getting fucking, not taking the belt when it's basically gifted to him, that has really helped out.
Izzy being the champ at 185 in their history definitely fast-tracked him.
Fast-tracked him, yeah.
And like that's what I kind of say about like McGregor's like double title, like the 45 one's legit. He got like the perfect storm to get
Eddie.
He was fast-tracked to it, and he got Eddie Alvarez to fight to get it. So like he's got caveats too. I don't know who else, man. Still though, it's going to be just, if he does it, absolutely incredible in the history of it. It really is.
It certainly will. We hope that card is incredible. Our bets are incredible. Specifically, Shaun's. Send the good vibes, folks. But that's going to do it for us this week. I assume with the card.
Bearju next week against Brendan Allen.
Bearju and
maybe
get all in.